Times Influence Initiative.
Finding one's life partner is an extremely satisfying and joyous occasion. While life goals are discussed before setting off on this journey, the financial goals are often ignored, or it's assumed that they will eventually fall into place automatically. As the couple gets into the daily rhythm of married life, it is ideal for conversations about home, children, and even retirement to be had at this point, if not earlier. On this episode of Nivesh, with the help of our financial experts, we're going to guide some newlywed couples with an investment plan for their goals and also discuss their financial aspirations.
I don't think we've done enough. We've just kind of taken baby steps. I am more of a traditional investor, while Stacy does, she has dabbled into mutual funds and she is increasing her portfolio.
We are fortunate enough to have everything handled by our elders. So we have few investments, but we would like to start something for ourselves, take baby steps for our own dreams.
The normal parents, they do like fixed deposit and all, so that's all it is. Apart from that, we both together, we don't have any kind of investment.
Money isn't the most romantic topic of conversation when you're newly married, but it's really important to discuss your and your spouse's finances and investments to ensure stability and security in the future. Some of the questions that do come up is, should couples have a joint bank account, or should they plan and stick to a budget? Hello and welcome to the Association of Mutual Funds in India and Times Network present Nivesh, a pan-India investor education initiative where we're reaching out and educating every Indian on how to invest their hard-earned money better. On this episode, we're joined by three newlywed couples, and our experts on the show will guide them, talk to them about how they should be planning their finances, and will help them achieve some stability in their financial future. Allow me to first up introduce my two experts to you. First up, we have Nitin Vyakranam. He's the MD and CEO at Artha Yantra. Hi Nitin, welcome to the show. Sure. And we have Nikhil Naik. He's the Chief Growth Officer at Naik Wealth. Nikhil, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so let's go across to our couples. Hi Leon and Bhavika, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what's your financial aspiration?
My name is Leon and I'm a DJ and a music producer, and she's my wife Bhavika Laljani.
For us, it would be like we need to focus on our career first. So he's very soon gonna start his own studio. Yeah, he's gonna do his course as well. And about me, I want to complete my cinematography course, but I want to complete my cinematography course in US. So yeah, we are trying to collect that money so that I can fly and even he can complete his course. So he has a nice habit of doing this. So what he does, so he write down all the expenses. He write down all the income, and he tallies every day, like whatever the expenses. So so like an example, like if I go and buy a soap as well of 10 rupees, so he has that habit of writing even that. So day end, he'll just tally like this is what we were supposed to spend and we overspend it. So the next day then we cover it up. So we never thought about investment, but yeah, we surely need to think about investment now, because obviously we want to start our own family and we got our own career. So we are looking forward into it.
Your thoughts on Leon and Bhavika?
I think one of the best things that they are doing now is the habit that Leon has developed, which is doing budgeting on a daily basis. We find a lot of people, almost 40% of our customers, actually have negative surplus, and it's not because they have less income, but it's because they just don't manage their expenses in a better way. And the first step towards really managing your expenses is to really know what they are. a lot of times people don't know what they spend, where they spend, right? I think that's something that you already have going for you. I think you should just continue to do that. And coming to the question of your aspirations of investing in yourself to really grow in your career, I think it's very important that you put markers on timelines of when you want to do that course. How will you really have money set aside for that course? And it's very important because of the careers that you have also. So you are a DJ, right? And she wants to be in the movie industry. You require a lot of support from a risk management perspective, right? Right from health insurance, right? Investing is very important. Putting money into diversified portfolio is very important. But you will need to start. You have the foundation in terms of budgeting, but on top of that, if you start taking care of risk management, how will you take care of health if something wrong happens? How will you, secure your life? What if there is an emergency? Can you manage it today? Right? These are the questions that I would really ask you to think about and lay that foundation. And then beyond that, investing and making returns is great. But in this case, my guess is that your goal is also short term in nature. You want to do this course in the next 2 or 3 years, right? You really will not be able to give your investments time to grow also. So all these factors really have to come together for you, so that you actually can have a clear runway which is longer than what you have right now. Right now, I think you're very, very short term in your view of what you want to do. Right? Get this done, but I think you need to plan beyond that also.
Okay. We'll just move on to Mihir and Stacy. So Mihir and Stacy, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
And my name is Mihir. I work in a media agency, and I've been working for the past 12 years now. This is my wife Stacy. She's a chartered accountant. She's working in one of the big CA firms, and we've known each other for about 5 years or so, and we got married last year in May, and we've been happily married since. So since both of us have been working for 10 plus years, I think one thing which is common for both of us is that we both want to enjoy life a little earlier. We don't want to be working continuously for many years to come. So I think early retirement is something which both of us want to do. Secondly, we are very passionate about our roots. Both of us have our roots back in Goa. So the dream is to retire and settle down in Goa and enjoy life in Goa.
Like he mentioned that our roots are way back in Goa, and considering Mumbai has a very hectic lifestyle, we would like to go back to Goa and settle down and enjoy what we have earned with our hard work. And if we hope to get something from the investments of the future, and then we can rest back and enjoy our life.
And I think that is also seen in the painting on the wall behind us, which is of Goa, which is kind of keeps us in touch with who we are and in touch with our roots. We wanted to know what can we do better to improve our money and improve our savings. It's really difficult to earn big through normal work income. So definitely we want our money to work harder for us.
Nikhil, do you have some advice?
I think if I look at Stacy, I think she wants to invest more for growth, and what I hear from here is he's more towards conserving or having safety for his portfolio. What I have been telling my investors is 50 has become new 60. So 50 people wanted to retire at 60. I think for all you may know, all of us would want to retire at 50 or would want to take a different look at our career at the age of 50. So we should really plan, and I think people from your industry should definitely plan for an early retirement. At some point of time, we should also look at, can my money start working for me? So if you are you are already saving, is what I believe, and you should move from savings to investing, is what I believe.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, I think the first thing you do when you say I want to retire is, okay, you want to retire. When? Assume 45, your age. So what will be enough when you retire? Is there a question you have answered for yourself?
We want to live a decent life.
The question is not that. The question is how much? right? So my suggestion, you start with that, answering that question and say, how much do we need, right? Not tomorrow, but today, right? And then start with it.
What are some other questions, Nitin, I'll come to you and then to you, Nikhil also, that when you're getting, so they've been married or roughly about 6-7 months, all three couples. But what's some questions that newlyweds should ideally take, maybe once they're married or ideally, you know, before they get married, on the financial aspect?
So I think finance is an area where people are not very comfortable talking about. You know, in this case, when we've spoken to them, all of them knew each other before marriage. So the level of comfort is more, right? There are many cases where that comfort is not yet there, right? So I think the first thing that you have to do is be comfortable discussing money. Number two, when do you want to start a family? Do you want to start a family, right? A lot of people, while starting a family is a very personal choice, the economic implications of that are very, very different, right? For example, once you start a family, your retirement age cannot be 45. It will not be 45 because your responsibilities exponentially increase, right?
Of course.
So there are these aspects of life that impact your finance. It's very interesting. All of us will go through our lives. All of us have markers. You will get married between 25 and 30, then, you know, typically kids, then, you know, house. The house you buy, whether it's a big house or a small house, will depend on the financial life. So it's important that you look at your life and then say what is the impact of finance on it.
Interesting. Nikhil, I just want to get you in on one more point. Earlier you were talking to Mi and Stacy and you were saying that, you know, they should invest. But your advice on how what are some kind of products that newlyweds can invest in to kind of secure the future?
I think it all, like he said, they've been knowing each other for some time, and so it all depends. And someone like Bhavika and Leon should really look at liquid funds or very short-term products, because their goals are extremely short-term, and you know, I guess you don't have too much time, and you cannot compromise with your goals of education, which has to happen next year or 2 years down the line. Whereas they have done with their educational planning, and also they could actually look at starting investing for, I mean, like I said, see, you've been working for some organizations. Can you become partners with some organizations by investing? So it could be equities, direct equities, or it could be equity mutual funds to begin with, also for them, because they have they've been investing. He's been investing in fixed deposit. She's been investing with her father's guidance into mutual funds also. So I think they are ready for the next step to start with, and they should really start looking at investing into slightly more longer duration products, and you know, slightly products which can actually give them slightly better returns.
So before I go on to Megha and Dhiren, actually Nitin, I just wanted you to throw some light on the mutual fund category, because they've heard of it. They've seen the mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign. They are aware that parents or friends or somebody is investing, but most are not directly in touch with them. So if you could just set some light on that.
Sure. I think now the first thing that you should do is understand what is your risk that you can take. And see, one of the key things that everyone who's investing in capital markets has to understand is that, you know, for every unit risk, there is a reward that is there. There's a directly proportional. And a lot of times we tend to not identify what our risk is, right? So the first thing that I would recommend you do is identify what is your risk, how much risk can you take, and for that risk, what is the reward you can expect, typically in a range, right? And that will then directly drive the kind of portfolio you have. You hear a lot about what mutual fund should I buy, should it be equities only, should it be debt only, or liquid funds. You should ideally have a diversified portfolio with a mix of debt mutual funds, equity mutual funds. You also can look at getting exposure to gold through mutual funds, and then have, you know, it as part of a basket. But all of these to first tie back to your risk type, and then before that to the goals. So everything should be driven by what you want to do in your life. The products are the, you know, maybe the last mile, right? And when you do it that way, it's much more easier for you to make decisions, you know, because it's not about getting into a product, it's about why you're getting into it, what you will get if you get into it. And you can also manage your expectations very well, because mutual funds are amazing products.
Dhiren, Megha, tell us a little bit about yourself.
name is Dhiren Tulsani and I'm a pharmaceutical distributor and I own an IT company. She's my wife Megha Tulsani. She's a software engineer.
We've been married for 8 months now and it's going pretty much good. Our financial aspirations are mostly covered already. So just now we are trying to move into a bigger space and basic vacations once or twice a year abroad or anywhere. That would be our financial aspirations currently.
Of course heard about mutual fund but we have never invested on it because it is being taken care of by my parents and her parents too. So we don't have that much idea about mutual fund and we have never asked our parents about anything about such kind of investment and all. But sure we will plan someday to take a minute for it and understand what is mutual fund.
Nitin, you want to comment first?
In terms of investing, since they come from a background of a joint family and a family business, right? A lot of investments I'm sure would have gone back into the family business. Right, outside of that, which is again private equity, right? Outside of that, I think you will have to take baby steps. This will be the first time you do it, so I'm sure you have a lot of questions on what we should do. Is this right? Is this wrong? Right? So I think the initial indoctrination into this whole thought process, starts with really understanding what is the kind of risk I can take. So what should I expect in return, and how will it help me in my life? That mapping is important for literally everyone. In my recommendation to you, I think you have to start slow because you are young. Some people will say that because you are young, you can take a lot of risks, but risks should always be calculated. They should not be unfettered risks. Right. So dip your feet, get familiar with the landscape. And I would recommend, in fact, all of you to take some professional help. But nevertheless, you have age on your side, so time on your side. So don't miss that opportunity.
So thank you so much, Nikhil, for that. Thank you so much, Nitin, for that. But before I let you go, we would love for you to write out a financial roadmap for our guests here. All right, thank you so much for that, Nikhil and Nitin. So if you could just take them through the roadmap. So first, Nitin, for Leon and Bhavika.
So for Leon and Bhavika, their primary goal is investment in themselves, right, in their careers, which is a very short-term goal. I think one good thing that they are doing right now is that they have done budgeting. They do budgeting on a regular basis, which is fantastic. 3 things which are very important. You have to build an emergency fund. Then you have to look at taking a health insurance and a life insurance. Beyond that, to support your short-term goal of studying further, you need to actually look at capital protection, which is one level above that. And capital protection typically happens with liquid funds or with fixed income products. In mutual funds, there is nothing called as capital protection as such, but liquid funds will tend to actually protect your capital more.
So we'll move on now to Stacy and Mihir. Nikhil, if you could share the advice for Stacy.
I think it's a beautiful combination of he comes from ad agency and she's a chartered accountant. It's a good combination of logic and creativity. One of the things is I think I would take Mihir's retirement age as 50 because he comes from ad agency and you should really have enough by the time you are 50. The other thing that I would do is save her money in totality. If we can actually ensure that her entire money is saved or invested on a month-on-month basis, I think it will be really great. They have some goals which are they're one level above of your capital protection
growth. Yeah.
They can actually fall into growth oriented investment options. The 2 things that they should do immediately is have enough health cover, and which gives you a lot of freedom to switch your jobs, switch careers, and so that's one thing that you should do. And obviously having a life insurance is important for both of you, and I think so this will give them a lot more.
So we move on to Dhiren and Megha.
Yeah, I think Megha's goal is to travel, while Dhiren's is to buy a home, right? I think the good thing that they have going for them is that they are in a joint family, so there's a good safety net of people. If things really go bad, you will always have a backup to take care of you, which is fantastic to start with. Again, here your goals are short term in nature, So you will have to plan in a short-term way, right? So the first thing that I actually would recommend is what Nikhil was talking about is get clarity between your personal and company expenses.
Right.
You have to really get that out of the way. Apart from that, the recommendation is that you can actually, because your age is on your side, right? You can start by creating these diversified portfolios and look at capital growth. You should be trying to grow your money right now. Apart from that, we recommend that you actually go for health insurance. At this age, you will actually get it at a very economical price. From an emergency fund perspective, we don't see a need for an emergency fund for you just because you have a safety net. But that's always a good thing to have your own bucket separately so that you can dip into it where you have to take a decision only between you two.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Can I just take these off you? So I'll pass them down to them. Thank you so much, Nitin. Thank you so much, Nikhil. It was absolute pleasure to have you guys here. And thank you so much, guys, for being here. I hope you're taking back some interesting, thought-provoking topics for conversation tonight at dinner. And I really hope this helps you. Do log on to the website mutualfundsahihai.com to get more information. Also, would love for you to join the Jan Nivesh movement by pledging to invest your one day's income into mutual funds. You too can join us and join the Jan Nivesh movement by pledging to invest your one day's income into mutual funds every month. All you need to do is give a missed call on 1-800-833-666 or log on to the website www.jannivesh.in, because after all, aaj ki kamai bhavishya mein kaam aaye. That's all on this episode. We'll see you next time. Until then, thank you so much for watching and stay invested.
So I think the couples we met today are really representative of the kind of couples we see when we actually go meet our customers. I think one thing that is common among all of them is that they're very aspirational in nature. So they have a lot of aspirations. The problem is that they don't know how to convert that aspirations into reality, right? They need help in really, setting them off and saying that, yes, this is an aspiration, you convert this to a goal, and then give them a roadmap to reach that goal. And I think mutual funds and investing in mutual funds is a very important element of actually helping them reach those goals.
What we need to do is actually move on from saving to investing. And that is where I think the biggest difference will come for. It is important that we discuss money, we discuss retirement, we discuss savings, we discuss investing with this generation.
I think for me, I got to know about all the different types of mutual funds which are there. They spoke a lot about liquidity, which is something is a primary concern for most people, including myself. So understanding the different types of mutual funds there are, the different risk options which are there, the different time periods which are there, I think that was extremely enlightening for me.
They have advised us to, bifurcate the expenses and the income and investments, do investment accordingly, take a calculated risk, which is favorable because of our age, and so we will think about it and we will work it out on it.
As he rightly said that it is a short-term goal, so like looking at our age, we need to start our investment like very quickly, and apart from that he also told that we need to do more of, we need to start the health insurance and the life insurance because we still have not done that yet.
We pledge to invest
One day's income
every month in mutual funds.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Partnered by Times Influence.